Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be doing our daily transparency update. And if you're new here, that just basically includes me talking about my portfolio's gains or losses for every single stock market day that I can make a video on. And sometimes with these videos, we'll have some really nice days where I make like $20,000+, and then sometimes we'll also have those rough days where we lose near $20,000 to $30,000. So I always like to have that transparency regardless of where the market's going, just because it's going to be interesting, even aside from just discussing topics with you all and things like that. It's going to be pretty interesting in the future, in the long term, to look back on these videos and simply just see how my predictions turned out, and then also just looking back at the early stages of my investing career. So this is kind of like a record for myself, but also a chance for me to discuss some things with you all as well. So with that being said, please make sure to smash that like button if you enjoy the Tesla videos. But just getting into this one for today, as the title states, we recently had Tesla stock closing at an all-time high share price, so that's really exciting in itself. And we have gotten a little bit of a drop in the after hours so far. As you can see, it's at around minus 1.26% right now. Keep in mind that after hours, especially with it being the after hours as like a preview of the next day, it's not always a great representation of what the next day is actually going to look like in terms of a stock movement. So just keep that in mind, even if there's a movement right now based on certain information in the market or things like that. A lot of news can change and a lot of general stock market sentiment can change in just a matter of a few hours in the next day. And that's something that we've seen a little bit just in today's normal market hours as well, like with Amazon starting out near the baseline, and then it went down a little bit and then went back up out of the red, and it ended up being a green day. So a lot of things can change in just a matter of a few hours. But even if tomorrow does end up being a red day for Tesla, I honestly have no idea where it could go. But even if it does, I'm still just really appreciative of the S&P 500 inclusion announcement, and then also just this pretty notable run-up that we've seen over the past few days. So I'm grateful for that regardless of tomorrow's movement. But just addressing the portfolio, we are currently at a value of $196,882.07. And in the normal market hours today, we had a plus 2.61% gain, which is plus $5,068.46. And then in the after hours, we have a minus 1.26% loss, which is minus $2,516.17. And then just referencing some of the topics and things that I discussed yesterday, I did say that I thought either today we would either hit $200,000 with the portfolio and it would end that way, or that we would at least just hit it, and it could go back under that 200K number. But my predictions were basically, just to throw out a short-term prediction yesterday, I was saying that we would likely hit $200,000 with a portfolio, and as you can see, that did happen, and unfortunately it went back under 200K after that. But in general, I'm still just really excited the fact that we finally broke that milestone barrier. And I was also expecting, as part of that short-term prediction for today, to be another green day, of course, based on this 200K prediction. And I mentioned that in reference to previous patterns that we've seen with Tesla stock, where if we see a really huge run-up surge starting a trend, then we commonly see a surge after that sometimes, and then sometimes for that third day as well, we'll see a solid gain also, which is what I was expecting today, and that's what happened. And I covered this a little bit in yesterday's video. I kind of used these little time frames right here, like with the stock split announcement and the battery day hype from August 11th through August 31st. This was one of those textbook run-ups that we see with Tesla. The same thing happened between June 26th and like this point all the way up here to July 20th. And then also we saw this first beginning with that same pattern as well nearing this point on February 4th, and then the same thing continued with this point on February 19th. So this is a common pattern that we see with Tesla stock, especially when we have a new groundbreaking news piece or something that just gets the market really excited about Tesla and many investors start to buy, especially on those days where it starts off with like a 10+% gain on that first day of that pattern. Then sometimes we will commonly see that next day have a pretty solid surge as well, and then sometimes even on the third days we'll have a pretty solid gain like we saw with today. So this is a common occurrence that I've observed with Tesla stock over this past year especially. And keep in mind, this isn't always the case. It's not a set in stone pattern, but it is kind of a common occurrence when you have multiple different things that are kind of igniting a growth spurt and simply just starting a notable growth trend. And like I said, we've had these events in the past with the battery day and stock split run up. We have it recently with the S&P 500 inclusion announcement, the short squeeze, the index squeeze, and all of those things in combination, in addition to just retail investors paying attention to these things as well. well and trying to buy with this run up possibly happening even more over this next month. So a lot of things going on with Tesla stock right now, and that is one of the major reasons why we've seen such a huge run up recently, and one of the reasons we see this pattern occurring once again with multiple consistent days in a row of solid growth. But with that being said, just to check out the pattern for today, we started out at 9 a.m. at plus 1.53%, and then at 9:30 a.m. once the normal market hours started up, we had a plus 1.11% gain. It jumped up a little bit, we had some volatility here and there, and then we hit the highest point of the day at 11:05 a.m. That was at plus 4.27%, or around $8,300, and then we started to see a little bit more volatility and back and forth action until it started to drop back down here, bounced back up to this point at 12:05 p.m. at plus 2.89%, and then it dropped back down, had some more volatility with the general slow incline upwards, and then we hit this point at 2 p.m. at plus 3.42%, and then some more volatility with the general downturn right here, and then it started to bounce back up just in the last few minutes of the normal market hours. So at 3:55 we are at plus 2.72%, and then it started to go on kind of a downtrend right here in the after hours. And so just to compare the rest of the time frames for this portfolio, for the past week we are currently up 20.11%, that is plus $32,967.07. Over the past month we are currently up 16.21%, that is plus $27,462.88. For the past 3 months we are currently up 26.23%, that is plus $40,915.94. And then finally for the past year we are up 91.79%, which is plus $94,229.60. And then the same thing applies for the all-time chart as well, considering that I've been investing on Robinhood for under a year. I started on December 2nd, so we are getting a little bit close to that year anniversary for me investing on Robinhood, and we're also getting near this 100% gain again. Keep in mind that 100% gain has been brought down a little bit simply because I've been buying more Tesla stock, and that does lower the gain percentage a little bit. But just comparing Tesla to the rest of the market right now, we have NASDAQ at plus 1.61%, and then we have VOO at minus 0.25%. A lot of the tech stocks did pretty well today. If we just take a look at a few on the list right now, the only one that I have on this specific list right here, the smaller list, the only one in the red is Nvidia. So in general, the market did really well today. As you can see, it's just a wave of green all over, except for a few here and there, kind of the ones in that travel stock, bank stock sector, ones affected by the Rona. Those are in the red today, but a lot of the tech ones are doing fairly well. So that's of course good to see the market in general doing well. And then we have Tesla with a pretty solid gain also, even aside from the drop in after hours. And then also, this is still a little bit unrelated, but it's interesting nonetheless. We have ticker symbol FUV, or Arcimoto, with a crazy surge today at plus 69.49%. So I just wanted to note that because that's a huge growth day for this one. And what's crazy about this is that I've actually looked at this one like way back when it was like $2, $3. I was aware of this one way back then. And the only reason that I knew about this one at that point in time was because of Gally from Hyperchange. He had a shirt of Arcimoto on. So that got me a little bit curious. So I just looked it up on Robinhood out of curiosity. So it's interesting to see this one kind of surge pretty significantly, especially today with like a 69% gain. Pretty interesting regardless. It's always nice to just look at the market and see which ones are making big movements for the day. Whether you believe in the stock or not, it's always just interesting to see the big movers. And just addressing the highest point of the day for Tesla stock, we had a price of $507.30 per share, and that was at plus 4.25% at 11:05 a.m. So I believe this is the highest that Tesla's ever reached in terms of a share price. And then also just addressing today's return, we are at plus 1.31%, which is plus $2,552.29. And then for the total return, we are currently at plus 61.92%, which is plus $75,657.40. So overall, a pretty great day for Tesla stock in my book, considering that after hours isn't really set in stone. Like I said, a lot of things can change between now and tomorrow, but it's nice to see the general sentiment being good for Tesla right now. I think it's well deserved, and I know that S&P 500 inclusion isn't really relevant in terms of what the company is actually doing right now. However, it is a good look for those investors that just didn't understand Tesla previously or didn't give it the credibility it deserved. I know that a lot of us retail investors, aside from the positive influence it has on Tesla's share price, we can pretty much care less whether it's included in the S&P 500 aside from that benefit, since it pretty much changes nothing about the company other than just simply giving it a better look in the stock market and helping it with the share price more with that mandatory purchase. However, like I said, this has had a positive influence on this stock in terms of of just the general sentiment. But there's still a lot of doubters out there for Tesla stock, and I'm honestly completely okay with that. I actually view that as a good thing because it tells me not everyone understands Tesla. Some people are saying that it's overhyped and all of these things, and that just simply tells me that there's opportunity for purchasing, because honestly, with me wanting to buy more of this stock in the future, I would much rather have there still being a lot of skeptics around Tesla, because if everyone is saying Tesla is a fantastic company, it's definitely one to buy, then I wouldn't really be perceiving as much of an opportunity out of it, because it would seem that pretty much everybody is on board. And that's something that would kind of make you wonder, is there an opportunity here if everyone else is seeing what I'm seeing? So that can be the positive side of seeing people still spread some fear and uncertainty and doubt around Tesla, like with the credit revenue and some of these other cherry-picked statements as well. So it's always nice to see opportunities still being there with Tesla stock, with me still wanting to purchase more shares in the future. But anyways, I just wanted to share this portfolio update with you all, so please make sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. And also, feel free to use my referral link to Robinhood or Webull if you would like to get some free stocks. And just a heads up, this is a huge deal right now. Webull is having a promotion where you can get 2 free stocks if you use my referral link. Those can be valued up to $250, I believe. And then in addition to that, you can deposit $100 into your Webull account and you'll get 2 more free stocks on top of those 2 that are valued up to $1,600. So a lot of opportunity for some nice passive income there with minimal effort. So I just want to let y'all know about that, and it also helps support the channel as well. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.